Happy Spiritual Sunday. Okay, so let's get started. Our affirmation, especially with all the chaos that's going on in the world, we have to all be being challenged more. You know, you hear from a lot of people the intensity, the chaos, the intensity of things, but we also know the light is getting more intense also. So what we're learning here is how to be more intensively connected, more solidly connected to the light. And that way, no matter what comes our way, we're not going to be thrown off that center. We're not going to be thrown out of balance. And this affirmation is just part of that. So those of you online, those of you here, let's say together, consciousness is everything. I raise my consciousness today to see the miracles and wonders of life. I commit myself to behave with greater love, compassion, and kindness towards all human beings. Great. Okay, so here we go. Do you like being told what to do? No, none of us. We don't want, right? How come? How come we don't like being told what to do? Simple, just think simple. I want to choose. Don't tell me what to do. I want to choose. I want to use my free will. I want to have free choice. So you can't tell me what to do. And yet, you go to school, and what do the teachers tell you? Basically what to do. I mean, technically you have free will. You don't have to do it, right? But even in school, there's an effect of that. Person doesn't do their homework, they're not going to get a good grade. And especially in elementary school, most parents, if the kid comes home with bad grades or, bad behavior something, there's going to be a consequence, no? Exactly. But now let's ask, why do we have free will? How did we get free will? If there is a creator, why did the creator give us free will in the first place? Just give us all the blessings and let us just have all the blessings. But you and I learned, where did free will start? It started in our creation. The creator, and this is the Kabbalists say, the only thing that was ever actually created. What we consider creation down here is just forming. You take a tree, you form it into paper. You take a tree, you form it into, a chair. You take a tree, you form it into a table. But what's the difference between the wood and the table and the wood in the tree? It's the same. You're just forming things. We're not creating. The only thing that was ever created was in the endless world, the vessel. The creator's pure nature is sharing, light, and the vessel is a container of desire to receive. Desire to receive the light, desire to receive all the fulfillment from the light, but still a desire to receive, vessel. So that in essence, humanity in the endless world had free will. Light, vessel. We could choose in the endless world what we wanted to do. We had the choice. And our first use of our free will was to leave the endless world. Why would we want to leave the endless world? So you go back to Kabbalah 1. If you haven't taken Kabbalah 1, I encourage you to take it. If you have taken it but haven't taken it in a year, take it again. Go online, come to a class, etc. Why do we leave the endless world? Because we committed ourselves to create a similarity of form with the Creator. We committed ourselves to come down here for the sake or for the ultimate goal and mission, purpose, objective of having infinite, lasting, eternal bliss. Not bad, huh? No? People here don't look like they really want it. You prefer chaos, a little difficulty, challenges. No, so eternal bliss is a pretty good thing, right? It's the only thing we came here to do. The endless world, we existed, if you will, we existed in a field of energy of infinite bliss. But we didn't embody, we didn't have it, if you will, within us, infinite bliss. Why? Because we weren't acting like the Creator. And I don't want to give you the whole Kabbalah 1 course, but in simple terms, like attracts like, similarity of form. So as a vessel, as a receiver, we were not in the same form, in the same action as the Creator, which was sharing. And that distinction is what allowed us to use our free will to come here so we could take the light the Creator gave us. It's not even our light. We're just containers from the light. But the Creator filled us with a piece of itself. This is how the Bible starts in its coded way, that first being is in the image and likeness of God. Because we're a vessel filled with the light of the Creator. The real essence of the Creator is the light, not the vessel. Creator has no desire to receive in it. It is strictly sharing. So we came down here to have the experience to live in eternal bliss by just acting like the Creator. So that was our first choice. What was our second use of free will? To make the mistake, right? In the endless world, in simple terms, we couldn't make a mistake because there was no space to do really anything other than come down here, create a space we call the physical world where we could act like the Creator. Then as we came here, as the code of the Bible tells us, we came into the Garden of Eden. And ultimately we came as two beings that contained all the soul of humanity. So the one vessel of the endless world, when it came here, split into what we call biblically Adam and Eve. But our soul was in those forms called Adam and Eve. What was our free will then? What gave us free will? Yes, we had inside, let's call it, we had the ability to have free will. We had used it to come out of the endless world here. But in this world, what would give us free will? If you think about it, if somebody offered, not you, but if somebody offered the average person on earth, here's a cup of whatever drink you like, and here's a cup of arsenic, cyanide. Is it really, really a choice? No. I don't think anybody, at least in the beginning, maybe some people might think of it for a second, but in essence, no free will. No free will to have the drink of choice and not cyanide poison to kill somebody. Right? That's not a free will. So the free will means to have a real free will choice, we have to think that both choices have the possibility to give us a greater sense of fulfillment. Think about any choice you've ever made. What were you really deciding? In fact, before we went online here, we used the term judgment. Because judgment doesn't have to be bad. When they say don't judge people, don't judge. Yeah, don't judge out of the illusion. Don't judge out of ego and selfishness. But every decision we make is a judgment. So if you think about the last choice, even when you may be coming here, you made a choice. What were you really choosing between? If you think of it now in our terms, but would this one give me greater good, fulfillment, happiness? Or this choice give me greater good, fulfillment, or happiness? Right? Because like we said, there's no choice between if it's obviously good and obviously bad. No, we were not going to choose the bad. But if this illusionary world can make both of them look like they're good, now we have a difficulty. Now we can be confused. Is this one better than this one? So in the code of the Bible, that was the choice between the two trees, the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. And what made us think, because you and I now, we're great Kabbalah students, we say, if I were there, I would of course chosen the tree of life. Well, hello, you were there. We were all there. We all made the choice to do what? Disconnect from the tree of life and connect to the tree of knowledge. How did we do that? Because that thing we call Satan, the parasite, the adversary, the ego, desire to see oneself alone, the evil inclination, whatever name you give it, it's in our mind. It plays with our mind. That's why we say consciousness is everything. That snake, as it's called in the Bible, which is not really a good translation, that opponent played with our mind and taunted us in this world to believe that the tree of knowledge was just as good as the tree of life. Now we had a real free will choice. Which do we pick? And as long as that voice is operating in our head, and we're giving it the power to oppose the voice of our soul, now we're in a real quandary. Which is better? Which is better? So why did we choose the tree of knowledge, good and evil? And you and I, if you've taken Kabbalah 1, just think back. Why? Why would you and I choose anything we call reactive? It's easier and it's instant gratification. Instant gratification. Yes, it's short term, but it's that shot of boost of energy right now. Scream at the person who took your sense of peace and harmony. You feel good because you feel you got back that peace and harmony. But not for you and me, because 5 minutes later, you and me take ourselves to task. Oh, how could I have done that? I know better. That was not a nice way to behave. So how long did our fulfillment last? Boom, few minutes maybe. You follow? Because we know the difference. Yeah, we got caught up in the moment. We gave in because we've been habitualized to give in to our opponent, to the instant gratification, more than being willing to postpone gratification, satisfaction for the long term. You know, they did talk about how we act like kids. There was this psychological test they did with little kids, whatever they were, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, something like with marshmallows. Obviously, it had to be kids who liked marshmallows, because if they didn't like marshmallows, no big deal. But they offered them, you can have this marshmallow right now, or if you wait 2 minutes, we'll give you 2 marshmallows. You follow? Most of them, what do? Because kids, basically, as you and I learn, up until 12 or 13, can't really exercise true free will, so they're going to give into their desire to see oneself alone. So whatever was 99% of them took the 1 marshmallow. Some of them you could see they had would wait a little bit, and then eat the marshmallow because they couldn't wait that long. So as you and I grow up as adults, we just corrupt the word adulterate. We corrupt the idea, meaning now it's, marshmallow is no big deal. Yeah, but what about when you're feeling uncomfortable? What about when you're angry? What about when you're feeling jealous? What about when you think something major in your life that invests? Now comes the confusion because you put a little pressure on yourself. Well, what do you think a 6-year-old feels about 1 or 2 marshmallows? They're feeling the same pressure as a 40-year-old between this choice and that choice. Right? Don't they say, and let's put it in the right frame for 2023, right? That the difference, how do they say, the difference between a child and adult is the price of their toys. Right? But still about toys. Still about instant gratification or long term. That's the only choice we have. And if you think about it, well, if the Creator didn't want us to have free will, wouldn't have given us free will. But then everything would be predetermined. We wouldn't even have the delusion we have free will. So you and I learn in the Kabbalah Center, because this is the real ancient, pure Kabbalah, taught all the way back to Garden of Eden, Moses, Rabbi Shimon, like that. Is this world predestined or is it free will? It's free will. This world is governed 100% by free will. The only thing we could say that is not free will, but it really doesn't take our choice away per se, is we came out of the endless world. That already happened. So in essence, you can't have free will, like to go back to the endless world as it was. We're going to go back to the endless world. That's the only other thing that's already predetermined. We will have heaven on earth, and then we're going to go back to the endless world. But between arriving here and how we're going to get back to the Garden of Eden, that's our choice. Completely free will. Completely free will. But now let's look what happened. So we'll see what happens today. So Adam and Eve, you and me, made that choice. We let that voice in our head, that parasitic imposter voice of ego and selfishness, make us choose, separate from the tree of life, eat of the tree of knowledge, good and evil. And in an instant, we had pure knowledge of good and bad. But what did we have up to that point? Up to that point, we only had the knowledge of good. What the adversary, what that nasty voice in our head made us believe is, but God knows everything. And if you don't know that there's bad and there's darkness and there's chaos, then you can't be like God. And you came down here to be like God. Wow, very logical. Sounds sensible. So he said, yeah, let's eat the tree of knowledge, good and evil, meaning we'll take it out of the frame of light so we can't see that everything is good. So the moment we ate of the tree of knowledge, good and evil, what did we have knowledge of, awareness of, and experience of that we didn't have up to that moment? Bad. We felt no pain, we had no anger, there was no evil, there was no jealousy, there was none of the criminal activity that you and I do in our minor degree and people do out there in a major degree. All we knew was good, light, goodness. So the moment we ate of the tree of knowledge, good and evil, we knew bad. You and I, when we're reactive, we said, 5 seconds later, we go, oh my God, why did I do that? Why? Because we know the difference. We know the difference between good and bad, and because we're in the center and we've been using Kabbalah and living more and growing into our full potential, the light is brighter, and in that light, we know what's good. Good is proactive. So now we have the distinction between our reactive behavior of jealousy, ego, fear, or whatever, and what we could have done to have more blessings, kindness, love, compassion, generosity. Now we know the difference. Because since we chose the awareness of good and bad, we are now able to make that choice. And that's all we're here to do. Make the choice between good and bad. The trouble is, even thousands of years later, what is that voice putting in our head? And the illusionary world around us is putting in our head that really the bad stuff, being angry, being jealous, fearful, judgment, guilt, shame, all of that, is okay. Because like we said, the snake justified it and made it rational in our mind. Today it's the same thing. For that first moment, it's justified and it's rational. And then comes the consequence. We're updated now, 2023. Why do you use a GPS? Think in simple terms. Yes, one, you're going to say, I'm not familiar with where I'm going. I want directions on how to go. Yeah, simple. That's why you use your GPS. The GPS is, as we always say, like a satellite, so it sees a bigger picture. So it's giving us the perspective of a bigger picture, how to navigate. But now, think about it. If we make a wrong turn, are we closer or further away from our destination? Further away. And what does the GPS do automatically? It gives us feedback. The GPS is cause and effect in a very simple, obvious way. Right? You make the wrong turn and the GPS will say something like, recalculating. That's a nice way of saying, hey, stupid, you didn't listen to me. You're now further away from your destination. Let me help you back on the path. Right? One day somebody's going to program a GPS like that. Hey, idiot, you didn't listen to me. What's the matter? Why'd you get me in the first place if you're not going to listen? But think how that sounds like us. So cause and effect, and this is why we teach here every single detail. There's nothing to the most minute thing we do that doesn't have an effect, cause and effect relationship and a consequence. But really what is it? It's a feedback system. Why do we have a sense of pain? Why does the physical body have a sense of pain? Feedback. Put your hand on a hot stove. You want to know it's on a hot stove. So the pain is just a feedback. Hey, idiot, you put your hand on a hot stove. Take it off. The pain makes us take it off as fast as possible, right? So we want that. So life is doing the same thing. When you and I look at the world, look at your life, and when you look at your life and you see things you don't like, you see things that aren't the way you would like them to be. Even from the spiritual way, even Kabbalistic, I see I'm not as sharing, as kind, as nice as I know I could be. That's the feedback system. You want feedback. How do you know? Because when you look and you see things you don't like, then we understand it's a feedback system. Because every action we do is cause and effect. And it brings back the feedback. But what's the feedback? Through everything around us. We're creating the world. Every choice we make has a result in some effect in the physical world. Like we said, you make the wrong turn, you're farther away from your destination, and you got to spend a little extra time and effort and gas or whatever to get to the destination you originally wanted. So the same thing, when you look at those people out there, we learn how to see through the code, the illusion the coded illusion, the matrix of the physical world. Somebody screaming at me, pushing my mistake button that I've done before of anger, and I start to feel angry. Oh, that's feedback. Chaim, you once got angry at somebody and screamed and yelled. Now the universe is giving you a feedback system how to correct it. Like take your hand off the hot stove. Only in life, how do I correct it? I have to pause and I have to act with tolerance, kindness, compassion. Right? Love, kindness, and compassion to all human beings. Not when they're being nice to me. That also, I don't want to say no, but especially when I'm not feeling it. Because that's the way I grow. It's cause and effect on me. My cause and effect is not based on you. My cause and effect is based on me. Yours is based on you. Not on them. So you can't say they made you. They made you think this way, act this way, do this thing. No, you chose. You and I chose. Adam and Eve. We chose. We listened to the voice of the Creator, so to speak, telling us, no, stay connected to the tree of life, stay connected. Then we listened to the voice of Satan, the opponent, the snake, and then we made the decision. We chose. They gave us two choices, but we chose which to do. The person who pushes your buttons and then you feel angry because of your wound of anger from your angry behavior plenty of times before, still giving you a choice. Are you going to act again with anger and keep repeating that? Or this time you're going to take away some of the energy of anger and use the energy of anger to act with forgiveness and tolerance and kindness and understanding. So that you have less darkness, less chaos, and more light and more blessing. That's what comes back to you. Just don't expect it from that person or that situation. But the universe will bring it back somewhere, somehow. That's the law of cause and effect. And if there's no cause and effect, all bets are off. There's no control over your life. Cause and effect means we have absolute control. But it also means we have to take responsibility. And that's the hard part. Take responsibility for your choice. However your life looks, however my life looks, I have to realize it's the accumulation of choices I made. Let me ask you this. Yesterday we were here, I had asked the same kind of question. Can you remember, let's be a little simple. Today is Sunday. Can you remember just a few days ago on Thursday? Can you remember every reactive behavior you did last Thursday? You may remember one or two maybe, if there was something really big showed up. But can you remember everyone? Can you remember when you were driving down the street and you kind of went, ugh, stupid driver? Can you remember every one of those? Or you got to the store and your item wasn't there. Ugh, stupid people at the store, they didn't know what they were doing. They don't have my item. Even those little things, everything adds up. What's the difference between $1 and a penny? In the simplest terms, it's 100 times. That's it. 1 penny is 1/100th of $1. But you have 100 pennies, it's $1. So every time we thought like that, oh, stupid person, why them? Even you look in the mirror, oh, I was such an idiot. That's also judgment. You follow, it's also reactive. You follow in that way. They all add up. So now add up 8 billion pennies hundreds of times a day. Now you understand why the world's in the shape it is. 100 pennies of chaos is $1 worth of chaos. 8 billion 100 pennies of chaos is 8 billion aspects of chaos, pain, suffering, and all the horrible things going on. But it's you and I who created it. We contributed. Yes, some people contributed 1 million pieces, let's say. You and I may only contributed 10, but we all contributed to it. Can't alleviate yourself of responsibility by saying, well, I only gave 10. Why'd you give any? Our job is not to give any, 100%. Did the light, did the Creator contribute to that? Not one, not even 1/10 of a tenth of a tenth of a penny. But notice what happened? After you and me as Adam and Eve, we did what we did, and then what happens? The voice of the Creator, meaning the universe feeds back, right? Look what you did, because you thought you made a good choice, right? A selfish investment, let's say, and then it goes bad. Now, what did Adam and Eve do? God, metaphorically, looked at Adam. Adam, what did you do? You disconnected from the light. What did Adam didn't say, you're right, I made a stupid choice. I listened to that idiot, the Nachash, the snake, that voice in my head, the imposter. No, God, it's your fault. You gave me Eve. She's the one who tempted me. And then God looked at Eve. Eve, what did you do? Oh no, God, it wasn't me. It was that snake. The snake that's here. The blame game. And it's been going on ever since. You and I the same, like we said. The person drives the way we don't want. Now we're blaming them. Idiot, drive the way I want you to drive. You go to the store, your item's not there. Stupid people, how come you don't have the item that I want? We're still blaming, aren't we? I love the part, you ever blame a chair, a piece of furniture, because you banged into it? Yes, and then we say, and we made it so cute and such a joke, we almost take it, oh, such a nice thing. Well, the chair grew legs and it walked in front of you. Right? You forgot that in 5 minutes or in 5 years, that will come back to you. Ha ha, a little joke, right? The table jumped out at you. You understand? This is where we've got to be aware. Take responsibility for your actions. Then you can change your life. You can redirect it. But if you keep blaming, then what's going to happen? It's got to keep repeating over and over and over again, right? You keep not listening to the GPS, right? Because you think you're smarter. What's going to happen? If every time the GPS says turn right and you turn left, you follow, at some point, you're going to be twice as far away from your destination as you were when you started. Not because the GPS is wrong, because we're not listening. So you and I learn from Kabbalah 1 forward how to see through the code, the matrix, the illusionary veil of this world to see reality. They're not at fault. Yes, they have their own tikkun. They have their own cause and effect, why they came to deliver to me the message. But the message was for me. If you get in the mail, now we could even say email. I just thought of a way to do that too. Right? You get in the email your credit card bill, because now people going paperless. So Spiritual Sunday will also be in the 21st century now. You get the email, you owe $1,000 on your credit card bill. Does it matter if whoever's running the server, and this is where my limitation of understanding works, but whoever's running this, can you look at them and say, oh, they're so nasty, they sent me this credit card bill, I'm just not going to pay it because they're idiots. Is that going to be good for you? And let's say they were, whoever controls that server to get from the credit card company to your email, let's say they're all stupid, they're all hateful and everything else. You don't pay your credit card bill because the person who delivered it is nasty. What's going to happen to you next month? Late fee, penalties, interest. And now that same stupid, nasty deliverer on the server sends you a bill now that's another, $100. So now it's $1,100. And you keep saying, no, I'm not going to pay it because the person who delivered to me is stupid, idiot, fool, nasty, evil, horrible. What happens the next month? Now it's compounded even more. So who's the real fool? We are, but it makes sense. Nasty person. So now think of your life. Who pushed your buttons today? Some of you are already at 10, 11 o'clock, maybe later, p.m. We're only here at 11 something now, right in Florida. But in this day, just up to this time, who pushed your buttons that you reacted to? And why did you react? Because they're stupid, they're idiot, they're not nice, they're judgmental, they're arrogant, they're egotistical, they're jealous people, they're control freaks. We gave all the names. To not accept the message from our soul, to pay our debt back, because the deliverer of it was a nasty person. Think, ooh, I heard it. Boom. Never thought of it that way. Wow. Yes, but it'll make it easier to transcend who the deliverer is, to overcome the illusion and say, no, I want to pay my bill so I don't owe any more. And if I don't owe on a spiritual debt, then what takes the place of the spiritual debt? Love, prosperity, peace, protection, kindness, all the good blessings. So do you really want to make your life controlled by who delivers you the message? You want to be in the same place they are? So if they're nasty and they're mean, you want to be nasty and mean also, right? Why not? Why don't you want to be nasty and mean? Maybe they're millionaires. Maybe they have what you think is a great relationship. Maybe you think they're in the greatest shape physically and this and this. So maybe you should be nasty and mean like them, and then you'll also have that blessing. Ooh, now it's a little tougher. I could feel that, right? The little squeeze in the brain got tougher. Yeah, that's me. I don't know why he's reading my mind, but I was just thinking that, right? Who doesn't want to be rich? And think simple, okay? It's just like, but unfortunately, not every rich person. What about the times you hear this person all of a sudden, whoo, they were like the internet bomb. They went from nothing, started this company, and now they're a billionaire, at least on paper. And then you think, I'd like to be like that, I'd like to be like that, even though they're not. Then you find out they were cheating, lying, something to have the billions, right? Faked all the whatever, the information, this, that, and other thing. You understand? Now you want to be like them? Oh, but when you thought they had billions and they started this great company and came up with innovations, you want to be like them because you want what you think they've got, the money, the fame, the fortune, the something. No, I want to be who the Creator created me to be. I want to be my full potential because when I'm shining my light 100%, I'm 100% blissed out. And at that moment, I don't care what anybody else has because I'm blissed out. I can't be more than blissed out. Can I really be, we say, I'm putting in 101% effort or 110%. But really, in truth, objectively, can we be anything more than 100%? No. So if I'm 100% happy and joyous because I'm shining 100% of my life, I don't care what anybody else has. I'm blissed out. I can't be any more blissed out. So I don't care if I'm in a 5-bedroom house and you're in a 25-bedroom mansion. Doesn't bother me because I'm blissed out. But when a person has a lack, then everything around them can bother them. This one's got more of this, and this one's got more of that, and that one's got more of this, and this one's better off. And look, why do good things happen to bad people? So do you really want to be a bad person like them? I know, we're tempted. I'm not saying we can't be tempted. We're tempted, but we don't want to be like that because we know they're bad. They're doing bad things, right? They're using their light in a bad way, but I don't want to imitate that. But there is that piece of their life I'd like to have. The money, the health, the relationship, the whatever you perceive, the new car, the job, whatever. So we'll try and piece it together. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Everything is cause and effect. Let's start accepting that my life is in the shape it is because of what I've done. Start making new choices. Make new choices. Don't just live on the same thing. Here, I brought a couple verses from the Zohar, because this is it. Like we said, okay, we got it. If you want to look it up, Toldot verse 171. When a person wishes to be purified and strives to observe the laws of the universe, as we're learning, proactive, reactive, etc., then the good inclination, the voice of our soul's energy, that joined him, because like attracts like. So you listen to the voice of the light and you act with kindness, love, and compassion, things like that. Then it says that good energy inside us overpowers the evil inclination, overpowers the Satan, the opponent, the adversary, the snake, the imposter in our head, the saboteur in our head, overpowers it and makes peace with it. As a result, the opponent, the evil inclination, becomes a slave to the good inclination. The more you work with the light, the more you see through the illusion, then the more even the voice of that opponent will serve you to just go like the GPS, one straight line, so to speak, from where you started to where you want to go. Instead of, zigzag and a longer trip and more frustration, everything else. No, both of those voices, both of those aspects, our vessel and our light nature, will both be used to take us down the path of the light and stay strictly on the path of the light. But we have to keep making that choice. So how do we do it? And we've talked about it. Choose happy over sad. Yeah, your button of sadness is being pushed. Pause. Start emanating the light of happiness. Just start deciding, I'm happy even I had the thought that I shouldn't be sad and I'm going to be happy. Shouldn't that make you happy? You chose something different than you usually do. And not only just the choice, but it also brings greater blessing, takes away more chaos. Choose gratitude over being jealous. In fact, Karen always said, jealousy is the stupidest reactive behavior we can do. Because you would say, if a thief steals $1, at least for 5 minutes, they got an extra dollar, right? They walk away with instant gratification, so to speak, and something. Person is jealous, they still walk away with a negative feeling. They're jealous if somebody feels bad, and what do they walk away with? The bad feeling. In other words, they don't even get, so to speak, that instant gratification. They don't walk away with anything even temporarily. Forgiveness over resentment. Choose forgiving the person over resenting them. You really want to get rid of resentful people in your life or negative people? Start shining light. Opposites repel. Like attracts like. So if you're forgiving and they're nasty, you start to repel more of their negativity. You start to transform yours, and you start to attract more kind and forgiving people and less people who will push your button of resentment. Abundance over lack. There's nobody who can't give something. People say, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough. So start with something. Give $5 a week. Spread the Zohar. Go buy Zohar. Even if you don't want to give it, go out, buy a few pocket Zohars. Even buy one, go give it away. Another week or so, buy another one, give it away. Just start. I mean, how do you think some of these, what does it mean, rag to riches? If somebody went rag to riches, does it mean they started with whatever, millions of dollars? No, they started with a very little bit, but they invested, they worked, they did, and they made it grow. You take one seed, apple seed, you put it in the ground, you have one apple tree. But the one apple tree, let's say, makes 100 apples. Now you can take 100 apple seeds and plant them in the ground, have 100 trees. But if you never plant that first one, because you say, oh, no, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, then you'll never have a tree to make it grow. Abundance is a consciousness. It's not a number in the bank. I know plenty of people who have big numbers in the bank, and they still feel they don't have enough. So they can't give charity. They can't help because they don't have enough. Really? Got $1 million cash in the bank, you can't give any of it? No. I met a guy once, literally, without giving you all the details. It was, at the time it was a big business. Everyone could see it, billboards all over the city in LA. And I happened to meet the guy when we used to go knocking on doors. And he's bragging how he spends $1 million a year on advertising. I said, really? And he even understood what the Zohar was. I'm explaining the Zohar and this and telling the Zohar. He says, wow, ooh, $345. I said, would you like to have one? Oh, no, too expensive. I think you're spending $1 million a year on advertising for a business, and you won't spend $345 and something could save your life, health, peace, protection, love, all the stuff besides just the money. You understand? That's how Satan gets us. Don't have it. Too expensive. Really. You get the idea? Now we have to start looking in our level. How does that work for us? How are we making the wrong choices? And of course, the ultimate, choose love over hate. And love doesn't mean you have to hang out with them. Love doesn't mean you have to call them over and have them over for Thanksgiving dinner. Love just means you have to send them light instead of sending them hatred. Because if you send people light, even if they're acting in a hateful, nasty, mean method or actions, you wake up the light in their soul. And as you wake up the light in their soul and the light gets brighter and brighter, they'll start to feel what you and I feel 5 minutes after we did that reactive thing. They'll start to feel ashamed of their nasty behavior. They'll start to feel uncomfortable and pain of their nasty behavior, and then they'll change. But send them hatred, resentment, and anger just increases what they're doing, and it doesn't help us any. Our bill next month will just be more. Because everything is cause and effect, right? If you and I are all at a store and we're all using our credit card to buy something, do I get your bill? No, you get your bill what you bought all month, I get my bill. So even though it's the same credit card company, but mine is mine and yours is yours. So if you're in the same situation with that nasty person who behaved nasty to you, push your buttons, pause, act with love, act with kindness, act with generosity, act with forgiveness, tolerance. So your bill gets less. If theirs getting bigger, that's something they got to pay, not you. I hope we're getting it. So I want to end like this, and then we'll do our meditation, 72 names. So you can keep blaming people all you want, but what do you get? You get a few minutes, a few days maybe, of relief of responsibility. Because at the end of the day, it's you want to overcome blame and all of that, take responsibility. I did the action. Even if you did something reactive, at least take responsibility. Say, I chose to do that. Now I'm choosing not to do it anymore. At least less and less and less. Then it comes back. Every time we do it, it comes back. It comes back in a different form to give you a chance, another chance to act like the light being that you've been created to be. To shine your light through the darkness in your life. Shine the light through the darkness that you've created. Some people call that karma, right? What goes around comes around. They call it a wheel that keeps turning until you put it in a different direction. But it keeps coming back again and again and again. The Kabbalists, we call it tikkun, because we don't want to wait for the wheel to show up. Tikkun means correction. So even if it's only gone, so to speak, half a revolution, we can get in there, we can fix it. And that's what we want to do, is correcting our mistake, our false way of thinking. Right? We gave in because we listened to the lie of that opponent in our head, and then we acted. So we want to start acting with peaceful instead of stressed, acting kind instead of frustrated, acting with support instead of criticism. Then you've repaired your behavior and you've changed your path of life from darkness and chaos to a path of light and blessing. And you're in control of your life, and you can accelerate, achieving all your dreams, all your aspirations, and have all the eternal bliss that the Creator gave you to have and enjoy. God bless. Thank you. Okay. So now we'll do our offering, then we'll do our meditation. For those of you watching, again, thank you very much, one, for sharing these videos. Like Barbara said, and I know Blenda, she's out there every week sending it out. Just push, in a few minutes when we finish, just push share. You're on Facebook anyway, those of you who are online with us, just push share, let it go out into your cyberspace, and somebody's ready to get it. You'll be shocked how many people are just waiting to see something like this or have access. Tell them, I'm learning Kabbalah. You know, I've been hearing about Kabbalah. Tell me, is it making your life better? Yeah, that's all they want to know. It's improved your life. So one, I just appreciate the fact that you're doing that. And two, those of you that are giving regularly, appreciate that. And just to update you, because you all know, I'm going to keep saying it every week, you know, just get a Zohar and give them away. We are now up to, in whatever it is now, 6 weeks, we've given away over 150,000 around the world. All of last year, we barely made 100,000. So, as I will remind you, it's the painful, horrific things that have happened in these last few weeks and these last couple years that started to really wake people up to say, you know what? Nothing in the physical world is going to help. But the Zohar creates miracles because it just shines light, and light will take away darkness. So this is where suddenly people waking up. So it is our wish, you, me, and all the students of the center, all the teachers of the center, that it doesn't take another disaster to wake more people up. Let's spread so much Zohar that the light will attract people instead of more darkness and pain attracting people. So in simplest terms, for every $2 you give, it's another pocket Zohar that goes out. We're collecting, those of you who may want to, you can dedicate the printing of Zohar, printing 10,000, the dedication is $18,000. If you can afford that or gather some people, do that. You could put a little sentence in it, you know, dedicated by, you could put your family name or whatever if you want, or you could just put your good wishes, right? This is dedicated to, the light beings, light warriors, whatever you want to say, but you can do that. But just nudge yourself a little bit in appreciation and also protection. It's a wise thing. The more light that there is out there, the bigger the sphere of light around you, the further away the darkness is. So it's to our advantage first and foremost. The second thing is, as that sphere of our light grows, we're including more and more people in the light, which means more of them will transform. So let's take a moment just to do our blessing. So those of you here physically, hold it in your hand. Those of you online, you can just do the meditations with us, and then I put the link on there. So you can just go to the link and give. And any of you, who may not have a Kabbalah teacher and you want to have a one-on-one meeting with me, we can arrange that even over the internet. So wherever you are in the world, there's no problem. So just messenger me and let me know. We can arrange the time and the place. So we just first and foremost always want to have gratitude and appreciation for everything that we have, everything we've learned, for all our talents and abilities, everything that's been given to us by the Creator, to appreciate it, appreciating all our blessings, that they will expand and grow. And part of those blessings are the resources we have, and with love, injecting this charity, this donation, this gift, with love and peace, compassion, forgiveness, and kindness. That it will go out through the projects of the center, allowing more people to learn Kabbalah here, bringing more books of the Zohar to all the areas of disaster, pain, and suffering, and to places to prevent disasters, pain, and suffering. That we expand the light around the world, transforming the darkness to light, the chaos to order, the curses to blessings. And we know that due to the law of cause and effect, the greater effort we make to help others with this gift, the more times over it will come back to us in the ways of abundance and prosperity and all the other blessings, peace, love, protection, that the light is. And so we send it out with this love and gratitude. And together we say, Amen. So let's take a moment. You have it here. This is one of the 72 names. If you're not familiar, I would go to a Kabbalah center, go to Kabbalah.com, look up 72 names. The Hebrew letters are just photons of the light of the Creator, or the Rav and Karen would call them nanoparticles of light. But they just are a conduit, if you will, from our world to the upper world, and they each shine a unique frequency of the light of the Creator. So it's not about knowing them, it's not about understanding per se, but it's just realizing that the Mem, Nun, Kuf, as these energies combined, they activate within us through our eyes, because eyes are the window to the soul, and our soul is already filled with the light of the Creator and the programming of the light and the DNA of the Creator, if you will. It activates that, and in this case, it's the idea of responsibility, accountability. It allows us to have greater strength to control our behavior. So no matter how strong our buttons are pushed, this name and this energy that awakens in us, and that's why you can keep using it. Get the book, 72 Names of God, or get the cards or whatever. But the more we use it, certainly the more we use the Zohar, the more we're strengthened to be able to transform when we're feeling reactive. Take responsibility, and obviously we'll be able to more pause and go directly to proactive transformation rather than have to go through a little bit of the guilt and the shame and all of that, the delay. Mem, Nun, Kuf. So just let the shapes be engraved in your mind's eye. And then I ask you to close your eyes, sit comfortably in your chair, feet flat on the floor. Take a few deep breaths, breathing in through the nose. Hold the breath for a moment. Exhale through your mouth. As best you can, breathe into your abdomen. In through the nose. Let that light force in the breath, in the air, permeate your inner being. And as you exhale through your mouth, letting go of the stress, the tension, the illusion. Breathing in the unlimited nature of the Creator inside you. As you exhale, letting go, dispelling the limited nature that you've believed about yourself. Allow yourself to relax into the seat. Feel all your body parts from head to toe relaxing, embracing the light that's inside you and all around you. And together in unity, let's see the Mem, Nun, Kuf. See it above your head. See it shining. The infinite light of the Creator, vibrating with all the blessings, unconditional love, abundance, peace, love, health, all the good things, and many, many times more than you can imagine. And slowly let that combination of light force particles enter in through the top of your head. Mem, Nun, Kuf. Start to activate on a higher level, a higher vibration, the light of the Creator in every cell of your being. Activating a new level of control, accountability, and accepting responsibility for your behavior. And as this new level of light is being awakened inside you, choose, decide, commit to use this energy, that when you're triggered, immediately to pause and have conscious thought. What do I want to come back to me? What action am I going to do? Because what I do, regardless of circumstances, will come back to me in the right way, the right time, for my highest good. Mem, Nun, Kuf. Strengthening my ability to behave like the light, to take the energy inside me that has been used in a reactive way and draw the light and the power of the Creator from within those negative behaviors with the support of the Mem, Nun, Kuf, to be able to use that light in a proactive, transformative way of sharing to the next degree, to my next level, that I am uplifted to my next level of light and blessings, clarity and guidance, peace and serenity. Using the Mem Nun Kuf to take responsibility for my actions, to be more proactive, and allowing then the universe to have more responsibility to bring me harmony and order and light. And now let's take a beam of this light from our heart and soul and beam it out through our family and friends, reaching into their heart and soul, awakening the awareness, the clarity of responsibility for all their actions, all their choices, even the reactive ones, that now truly gives them the ability to make free choice, to get out of the darkness, out of the control of their ego, opponent, adversary in their head. And through them, continuing this beam of light, Mem Nun Kuf, to the heart and soul of all people on earth, awakening in them also the strength, the awareness of the truth of self-responsibility. That nobody outside of us is our opponent, is causing us any kind of chaos. Only the voice in our head is our true opponent. That false, lying voice. And the more of us fighting it and transforming it, the more of us take power from it, then we're taking power away from that collective opponent. And strengthening the voice of the light in each and every one of our soul. So we envision in our mind's eye humanity making more and more proactive choices, acting with greater love, kindness, and compassion, emanating greater unconditional love. And therefore, all of us experiencing greater peace and happiness, serenity. Engrave this feeling, this sensation, this vision in your heart and soul and your mind, that it will be with you in those moments when you're being triggered. Pause, remember this sensation, remember this vision, knowing that your action of transformational sharing will make it happen manifest in the physical world. Notice the opening of your heart. You can feel it. You can feel greater love emanating from it. And let's take one more deep breath, anchoring and solidifying this in our heart, soul, and mind. And as you exhale, slowly opening your eyes. And God bless. See you next week.
Thank you for joining us. If you liked what you saw, subscribe to this channel that you'll be notified when we post new videos. Share the video with your friends, they can also benefit. And check out the website, www.kabbalah.com, that's Kabbalah, for hundreds of articles and classes. Wish you an amazing day, and God bless.